Hey everyone, it's Marco here, and in today's video I'll be covering everything strategy, management, and simulation game related. From game reviews that came out this month to upcoming games coming out in August, as well as tons of extra news about new games, updates, and more. I'd also suggest you subscribe so you don't miss out on anything related to strategy and sim games, but on with the video. So July was packed with strategy and management games, and first up was Ground of Aces, which came out on the 10th of July into early access, and this is a World War II air-based management sim. Now, I did already mention this in a previous video about management games, but in case you missed that, this is a refreshing take on wartime strategy, letting you build runways, manage pilots, and keep your crew fed, rested, and alive. It's out on Steam, sitting with a very positive rating, with the usual early access bugs letting you down in some places. But if you enjoy complex, immersive base builders with a military twist, then maybe check out Ground of Aces today. Then on the same day, Kaizen, a factory story launched, and we were once again able to bask in Zachtronic's brain with a fresh dose of automation puzzles. Developed by Coincidence Games, it's still Zach but under a new name, and published by Raw Fury, this game is set in Japan's manufacturing boom in the late 80s, where you play as David Sugimoto, designing intricate assembly lines in a sleek, satisfying 2D interface. Now, I played the demo, and I gotta say, with it being my first Zachtronics game, I was quite blown away with just how complex the game gets. The puzzles slowly get harder, and if you have some kind of limitless brain where you're using like 90% is just natural for you, then you can't go wrong here. It's sitting with a very positive rating on Steam, so if you enjoy thoughtful automation puzzlers like Opus Magnum or Space Chem, then maybe check out Kaizen, a factory story today. Now for another game I covered recently, MoteMancer is a game in which you're playing Magical Factorio, and it's actually pretty good. Developed and published by Cyan Avatar Studios, this factory building game, while still in early access, does automation a little bit differently. Instead of a grid layout, you've got a hex grid. Plus you're going to be using mana-powered tech like you Harry Potter with an engineering degree. It's sitting with a very positive rating on Steam, and with some people finding the unusual factory gameplay a bit disorientating, I guess that's kind of the point. So if you're a seasoned automation fan and you're looking for something different, then maybe check out MoteMancer today. Then on July 15th, Stronghold Crusader Definitive Edition dropped, where the devs Firefly Studios resurrected one of the most iconic RTS/city builder hybrids of all time. This remaster stays true to its roots, preserving the classic castle building gameplay, tight economic loops, and legendary mercenary system, all while including some incredible sprite upgrades, improved animations, and re-recorded voice lines. Plus it's got new units, AI-controlled lords, historical campaigns, as well as co-op gameplay, which all add some real meat to the content. So while the core gameplay remains unchanged, the refreshed visuals and strategic depth make it feel sharper than ever, and with a very positive rating on Steam and thousands of players in the game right now, it's a must-play for people who really enjoy real-time strategy games, especially if you have a friend who wants to play too. And then next up we've got The Wandering Village, which dropped on the 17th and is for city building fans with a soft spot for post-apocalyptic survival and Studio Ghibli vibes. Developed by Strawthorn Studio, this game lets you build a village on the back of a lumbering kaiju-sized creature named Onbu, all while dodging toxic spores, biomes, and moral dilemmas. It throws out the typical build the perfect city formula and instead tosses you into a constantly shifting world where adaptation is the key to survive. Right now it's sitting on a very positive rating on Steam, with the only negatives being that it gets a bit boring in the late game. Still, if you're wanting a different style of city building and you enjoy the look of the game so far, then maybe check out The Wandering Village today. Then on the 17th, He Is Coming dropped into early access as a retro roguelite with a dark twist. Developed by Chronicle and published by Hooded Horse, you play as a pixel art knight scrambling to gear up before bosses arrive every few nights, with automatic turn-based combat and a love or hate of that CRT TV effect. Now I know that some people might be thinking, Marco, it's 2025 and these graphics suck. Well, to me, AAA graphics don't make a game fun. I mean, yes they can, but this is one of those titles that focus more on enjoyable gameplay than anything else. And trust me, leveling up your knight, trying out different item combos, and trying to take down massive beasts in each run is incredibly addictive. It's currently sitting on a very positive rating on Steam, with the only critique being that the RNG is being a bit too intense. So if you enjoy short strategic roguelike runs with a nostalgic look, then maybe check out He Is Coming today. Damn, what is with these medieval roguelikes with pixel graphics this month? On the 21st, The King is Watching launched as a real-time strategy roguelike with a unique twist. Only buildings with the King's gaze grid produces resources. I guess you could also call it the viewing vicinity or look location or peeking place. Okay, I'm done. Developed by Hypnohead and published by TinyBuild, you'll need to manage that grid, your economy, and your troops in real time, which creates this frantic strategic rhythm that's surprisingly addictive. You've got spells, buffs, and a roguelike upgrade system to keep each run feeling fresh, with randomized rewards adding strategic depth. It's sitting on a very positive rating on Steam, with thousands of players getting in on the glaring gameplay, which some are just having issues with it not being able to save, which hopefully the devs will fix soon. Still, it's packed with tactical complexity, personality, and some clever new ideas for the genre. So if you enjoy fast-paced RTS games with roguelike elements and a strong dose of micromanagement, then maybe check out The King is Watching today. So like I said, July was absolutely packed with strategy and management games, but August, not so much. Maybe people are still recovering from the heat, maybe it's just me. Air conditioning sponsors, where are you? Anyways, let's see what's coming out next month, starting with one of the most anticipated space games of the year. Coming out on the 6th of August, Era 1 is a sci-fi mix of real-time strategy, space survival, and deep base building. It's getting developed and published by Team Complex, the same team behind the popular Homeworld Complex mod, where the game is set in a crumbling galactic empire, and you'll need to build space stations, customize massive warships, and battle in tactical real-time skirmishes. I played the demo during the Steam Next Fest and loved every moment of it. Sure, my laptop struggled due to the sheer epic graphics that were on my screen, but I couldn't get over the creative freedom when building up my own station. That's because you can design your base from scratch and assemble ships using modular components for combat, exploration, or maybe even trading. Then as you expand, you need to manage resources, unlock new tech, and protect your base from enemy forces, which is not easy. Plus it's got one of those epic space soundtracks, you know the one I'm talking about. It's just, yeah, it's really good. With its mix of custom building, strategy, and sci-fi storytelling, if you enjoy space RTS games with deep space and base customization, then maybe Era 1 needs to be on your wish list like right now. Then on the 12th of August, the Scouring is coming out, which sets out to be this fast-paced real-time strategy game where humans and orcs battle it out in classic and hero-driven modes. Being developed and published by Orc Group, you play the traditional RTS way of building bases, gathering resources, and then commanding armies to take control of a powerful hero in action RPG style. Like for those who have ever played Warcraft, you'll get the idea. And it also comes with a Steam Workshop integration that lets you create or download custom maps, modes, or even AI behaviors. For now, the dev mentioned that multiplayer will be the main focus, with single player perhaps coming later. But if you enjoy the classic RTS games, especially, like Warcraft, with a modern twist and some modding support, then maybe check out the Scouring today. Then on the 14th, Warhammer 40k Dawn of War Definitive Edition returns as the ultimate version of the RTS classic. Developed and published by Relic Entertainment, it includes the original game, all 4 campaigns, 9 factions, and over 200 maps that are now enhanced for modern systems. The updated edition features improved visuals, higher res textures, better lighting, and a revamped camera for widescreen and 4K displays. It'll also now support full modding, which is incredible. So many fans are looking forward to this game, like it really made a name for itself back in the day. So if you want to relive some classic nostalgia, or maybe you want to play some epic RTS action, then maybe check out Dawn of War Definitive Edition today. Then lastly, a hidden gem that's dropping on the 29th of August, Dungeon Warfare 3 is coming out, bringing back the brutal tower defense gameplay that fans love, except now only bigger, badder, and even more customizable than ever before. Again, don't be put off by these graphics. I played 1 and 2 on my phone, so while it might be really good on PC, playing it on mobile is still a very good experience too. I think I lost, honestly, I can't even remember how many hours I sunk into that game. Like with the previous titles, you'll need to shape the battlefield tile by tile, crafting death trap gauntlets filled with spike pits, rolling boulders, spring-loaded launchers, and much more. With each victory, your traps level up, you get to unlock new abilities, and then evolve into more satisfying instruments of pain. It's chaotic, stressful, but so much fun. So if you really enjoy strategic tower defense games and looking for something a little bit different, then maybe check out Dungeon Warfare 3 today. But now for some updates for games that have already come out, starting with Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, which recently released its Uprising DLC. This DLC comes with a full sandbox-style roguelike campaign that puts you in command of the resistance across 22 dynamic sectors in the post-apocalyptic United States. Here you'll be fighting against a whole range of angry groups, from the Marauders to the Legion to the Cartel to the Movement, all having their own playstyles and agendas. Unfortunately, this DLC is currently struggling, with Steam reviews sitting at mixed, where the biggest issues here are with the AI, with it being not the smartest and the enemy being a bit too overpowered. Hopefully the devs will make some updates fast, as the base game is a ton of fun to play. Then for some more DLC updates, Against the Storm, one of the most popular city builders of all time, is releasing the Night Watches DLC today, as well as another big update. The DLC comes with a bunch of new content, 2 new biomes, the Rocky Ravine and the Bamboo Flats, 3 new world events, new modifiers, and a whole lot more. We're also getting a new species, the Bats, these gloomy goth folk who love their metallurgy and chilling in the dark. Then the Commons update also comes out today that adds a shared village space called the Commons, where villagers can fulfill their service needs. It also offers some smaller resolve bonuses, but with more flexibility. Several buildings will also get a visual makeover with Bat-inspired architecture. Plus, scaffolding now fits within building blueprints again. I mean, I could go on, there's a whole lot going on, but if you love Against the Storm, or maybe you haven't tried it yet, now is the time to get into it. Now for the survival city building lovers out there, 11-Bit Studios is hosting a FrostPunk 2 modding contest with a $10,000 grand prize and custom FrostPunk themed GPUs for the category winners. Submissions are open until the 22nd, with winners announced on September 1st. Mods will be judged on creativity, fun, and replayability. And to me, it's great to see that the modding community has been growing in the game, even if the game didn't get the warmest welcome on release. So far, these mods are looking great, and I'm very keen to see what the winners will be able to cook up. Next up, the RimWorld Odyssey DLC is the next big leap for Ludian's sci-fi colony sim, which dropped on July 11th. This DLC primarily introduces lower orbit spaceflight using grav ships, allowing players to travel across the planet and add new orbital destinations such as moons, asteroids, and constructed platforms. Building these grav ships requires researching grav tech tiers, typically starting by inspecting a crashed grav engine. The DLC also adds 5 new biomes, fishing, heavy bridges, and notably the abandoned structures and ruins as map features for unique exploration. I'd say it's highly recommended for vanilla and new players, as it integrates many features that should be in the base game. However, it may be less appealing for heavy modders, as many core additions already exist in well-developed community mods. Also, someone in my Discord group said that it could also mess up some multiplayer functionality like the one by Zetrith, but many people are saying it's really good, already sitting at a very positive rating on Steam, so maybe go check it out if you're into RimWorld and you want to try out something new. But now for some news for games that are still coming out, we're going to start with Menace, a game that everyone just can't wait to play. The devs behind the upcoming turn-based strategy RPG from Overhyped Studios, you know, the same minds behind Battle Brothers, have been steadily revealing new systems set to define both its tactical and strategic gameplay. Recently, they introduced a fully modular vehicle weapon system, letting players customize loadouts using a slot-based chassis approach, with each change affecting the vehicle's appearance all in real time. This month, they also announced a new squaddy system that replaces abstract health pools with persistent soldiers, each carrying their own background and mission mission history. Losing a trooper here means losing them for good, with no automatic replacements. Also, the vehicles will now suffer from realistic escalating defect states like turret jams, EMP malfunctions, or rocket cook-offs, all based on damage and loadouts. This is just a sprinkle of the info that the devs have released recently, so if you want to know more, maybe go check out the YouTube channel Grid Commander. There's just a whole bunch of information on there. It's really impressive. But yeah, I love it when devs do this, and it just makes me even more excited for its release later this year. Now, anyone here still remember Stormgate? Well, now it's officially exiting early access on the 5th of August with its first full campaign, Ashes of Earth, and a polished 1v1 multiplayer mode. But here's the catch. Co-op and the terrain editor are still in active development. This led to some confusion when the update was initially labeled version 0.6. Frost Giant has since ditched version numbers entirely, now naming updates after RTS units like Necrolites and Ornithopter. It's pretty weird. The studio says it's doing this because campaign and 1v1 are ready for a broader audience, even if the 2 of the 4 promised core features aren't done yet. They admit that the full release is also key to funding continued development. So yeah, the unfinished stuff will live in the Sigma Labs, which is basically the testing zone. Whether that feels like a real launch or not, we'll see how it plays out on August 5th. Then for my logistics fans out there, Transport Fever 3 kicks off a first new look video series, giving us a peek into the game's incredible looking environments and map systems. The first episode dives into the terrain, climate zones, and the revamped map generation system. Thanks to advanced node-based technology, maps will now flow smoothly between regions, like tropical beaches can transition into snowy peaks on the same map. Then the new day-night cycle adds some real atmosphere, with dynamic skies, lighting, and reflective water making everything just pop. Plus, if you want full control, you can also sculpt your own landscape or import height maps using the upgraded map editor. And with mod support and endless customization, every game is gonna hopefully feel fresh. So overall, it's looking great, and I cannot wait to see more. Now for a bit of sad news, if you were hyped to dive into Endless Legend 2 in August, Amplitude have pushed the early access release from August 7th to September 22nd. The extra time will go towards improving onboarding, localization, balancing, map generation, and just overall polish, especially to help early game pacing feel a bit smoother. The good news though is that you won't be entirely in the dark. A demo is dropping in early August, so you'll get a taste before the full release. No details yet on which factions or features will be included, but it should help win some fans over. Amplitude says that feedback from early testers has been incredibly useful, and they want to make sure that the game lives up to the legacy of the original. Honestly, if it means a better 4X strategy game, I'm very cool with just waiting a little bit longer. Then lastly, let's wrap up this video with some new game announcements. If you've made it this far and you're still interested, perhaps consider becoming a member of this channel. You'll get your name at the end of the video, and you'll also help my small channel keep going. So starting with the first game, this was announced about a month ago. It's Jurassic World Evolution 3. This is where you're going to be building and managing your very own dinosaur park. This time around, you'll be able to breed and nurture over 80 different prehistoric species, watch them raise families, and even pass traits down through generations. You'll also be able to create natural enclosures, run crowd-pleasing attractions like balloon tours and dinosaur encounters, and then hopefully try and keep everything under control when things go inevitably wrong. This time around, there will also be new tools to help sculpt the terrain, customize the scenery, and manage your park's operations in great detail. Fans of the franchise will also enjoy the return of Dr. Ian Malcolm and a sprawling campaign across iconic locations like Montana and Japan. It is set to be released in October, so if you like management sims, dinosaurs, and a bit of funky chaos theory, maybe add Jurassic World Evolution 3 to your wishlist today. Next up, this game really caught my eye. Gangs of Asia is this ambitious blend of real-time strategy and cinematic martial arts action, developed by Moon Punch and published by Microprose. The game is set in a stylized version of urban Asia, where players will step into the role of one of 4 gang leaders, each bringing distinct fighting styles and strategic advantages to the table. The game will combine squad-based territorial control with intense 1v1 kung fu duels, offering a very fresh take on the classic multiplayer RTS combat. With 6 unique unit types from nimble ninjas to heavyweight sumo bruisers, players will need to manage resources, capture key buildings, and skillfully deploy special abilities. So if you're looking for an RTS game that really changes things up quite a bit, then maybe check out Gangs of Asia today. And then last but not least, Sudden Strike 5 is returning in 2026 for PC, PS, and Xbox, bringing large-scale World War II tactics to life across Europe and North Africa. The last one came out like, what, 8 years ago? And so it looks like the devs are going to be ramping up everything this time around. Now this is going to be more of a tactics game, so even though it might look like a game like Company of Heroes, it'll be very different, as you won't be building anything here. Generally, you'll be given units at the start, and then tactfully trying to outmaneuver your opponents. Developed by Kite Games and published by Calypso Media, the latest entry will be introducing improved camera controls, large-scale battles, and expanded multiplayer options. Sudden Strike fans, I'm sure, are going to be very pleased about this, so here's hoping they come up with something impressive. And that's July and August in a nutshell. What did you think? What did I miss out on? If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe to find more games to get lost in. But other than that, it's Marco here from Easily Distracted Games, and as always, don't stop gaming.